Welcome to Rise and Shine Yoga. Oh, I'm a little chilly this morning. We're going to start seated. So if you want to grab a pillow, put it underneath your hips or anything like that, feel free. As always, just make yourself comfortable. I have two ways of thinking about today. It's I have so much stuff to do today. I have so many meetings. So I'm just going to take this 45 minutes for myself, and at the very least, I'm going to have a really good 45 minutes. Or it's I have an amazing day planned. I can't believe all these really good opportunities I have, and I'm going to start yoga start my day with some yoga to get myself really geared up. And it's not necessarily like a what way you want to frame it type of thing. Sometimes it's just like, today's just going to be a day. I have like 75 meetings in a row, and they're all things that can be done via email, and I'm just kind of not really feeling it today. Or not. It could be the complete opposite. So sometimes it's a reframing thing, and sometimes it's just today. So either way, we're going to start the day or end the day, depending on what time you're watching this. Just a nice 45 minutes to ourselves, stretch out any kinks that you may have going on, and go from there. My goal is to kind of work on a little bit of the hips a little bit today. Maybe take some poses a little bit longer than we usually do. Not like a full yin practice or anything like that. I am thinking of doing one of those in the near future, but not today. A yin practice is something that I strongly recommend. Maybe if you've decided that you do want to go and get a vaccine shot, maybe you're feeling not so great the day after you take a dose or the second dose or whatever this thing happens to be. It's just a really good way to just kind of be in your space, take the time for yourself, go into some longer postures and really be. So if you're like, I really kind of want to do something, but I'm really not ready to leave the house or do like a weight workout or something like that, I'm just not feeling it, maybe yoga practice is the way to go on that particular day or days after. Especially if you just feel tired and kind of achy and things like that. If you're feeling obviously ill and you're not a big person that takes rest days a lot and feels upset with yourself when you do. Sometimes I get that way. I'm like, dang it, I missed my workout today and that makes me mad. Sometimes it's just for the greater good that you just take a day or two or three. So we are seated. We are going to stay here for 2 more minutes, and I'm going to shut my mouth. And we're just going to be in ourselves for 2 minutes. Sitting up nice and straight though. All right, so let's bring those knees in. One leg in, one knee in, and just squeeze that knee in. Tuck that foot in. You go straight up to the ceiling and sitting up nice and tall, and then just leaning forward, stretching out this hamstring. Okay, let's bend that leg and switch to the other side. Same thing. Toes are up. Feet are tucked in. You go straight up. And then just leaning in. Okay, bring both knees in. Reset. Put the first leg back out. And this time we're going to open up that hip to the side. So I'm still on my block. That's fine. If I don't have a block, it's no big deal. I'm just making sure that these toes are straight up and this knee is as relaxed as possible. And then once that's good, then I can lean forward if I want. Didn't realize I just got so much purple on today. Purple nails, purple everything. All right, let's bring that knee in and let's switch it out. So, other foot is in, other leg is straight in front. This knee is relaxed as possible. Reaching situated right in front of this straight leg and leaning in if that feels good. As always, everything in this class is if it feels good. If it's uncomfortable, if it causes pain, we don't want it. There's some classes where you want to go to that edge and kind of see where you can get to that edge. Today's class is not one of them. Beautiful, bring that knee in. I'm gonna remove my prop, stick it out to the side, and I'm going to turn on my side, and so we stretched out the back of the legs, let's stretch out the front of the legs. So I'm just gonna pick a side, I'm gonna lay on it, and I'm gonna hug those knees in. And then take that top leg and grab that foot, and stretch here. Relax that head and neck. Okay, let's switch over to the other side, same thing. Rolling on over. Make a ball first. And then take that top leg. Quad stretch. and release. Let's lay on our backs. And you guys grab those knees in. And we're going to do a little happy baby. So I'm going to grab either the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot, the big toe, or even down actually on my leg. Whatever feels better for me. I'm going to grab it. And then I'm going to stick my legs up in the air. And I can bend one leg and straighten the other. Do whatever seems like it would be best for me today. And just kind of go through the motions, do a little play here. Couple more breaths. And if you want to find stillness, that's okay too. And then release those legs down and open up one hip and then the other hip. Both knees to the side, hands on the belly, and relax as much as you can. This is our first stretch, so we're going to hold it a little bit longer than usual. So make any adjustments that you need to do. If you have something you want to par up underneath those thighs, that's fine. And just really taking big, deep breaths and trying to relax. Imagine breath going to those hips. I'm going to take those hands, put them to the outside of the legs, and bring those knees together. So let's do what we're going to do a recline pigeon now, and then we're going to do our upright pigeon a little later. So pick the leg of your choice, cross it over, open up that knee to the side. Point those toes up towards the ceiling. 2 breaths here. And then keeping that head on the floor, grab that leg, bring it up, and then straighten that leg up towards the ceiling. Let's flex both those feet. And let's lower everything down. Bring those knees to touch, bring the feet out to the side. lift it up for the other side. So the other leg, cross over, a foot up to the ceiling, and 2 breaths. And then grab behind that leg, bring it up, foot up, active feet. Okay, and lower those legs down. Let's roll over to the side and push ourselves up to seated. Having those legs in front and dropping them to one side and then the other. Just kind of windshield wipering. And drop to one side and hold. And the other side and hold. Come back to the center. Cross one leg over and the other, so we're sitting in a cross-legged position. Arms in front and just walk those hands down. Hips on the ground. And then kind of walk those hands to one side. And then walk them to the other side. Come back to the middle. And push those legs. Hopefully our hips are feeling a little bit more open now. Okay, walk them down. And walk them one way. And walk them the other way. Come to the middle, and then sitting up nice and tall. Arms out to the side, and let's just do lift up and down. Just a little movement in the shoulders. And come up, drop one arm and lean on in. Come back up and switch sides. back to the center of our big yawn. Release those legs. Tuck them under. Come through tabletop. And we're going to do single eye Y's and T's. We're just going to kind of shake out those hips a little bit first. So what I mean by that is we're going to be in tabletop and we're going to do a one arm to the side, a one arm diagonally to the front, and a one arm directly to the front, and then go the other way. So we're going to do that 3 times. So 3 kind of circle little arch things we got going on. So I'm going to grab a little water first. Got a little fluff in my drink. Okay. So, we're here in our tabletop. We have a nice neutral spine. Everything's good. Our fingertips are spread nice and wide, and the weight is all the way in our palms. It's not just, and fingers. It's not just in the heel of our hand. All right, let's lift up to the side 1. Diagonal. Front, diagonal, side, diagonal, front, diagonal, side. One more. Side, diagonal, front, diagonal, and side. Beautiful. Shake out those hips a little bit more, and then we're going to go into a downward dog. So take your time, tuck those toes, work out any kinks. And we're going to stay here for a couple breaths. And then we're going to walk those hands to meet the feet. And then very slowly roll it on up. So we're standing up nice and tall. Shoulders back, opening up that chest. Should feel really nice. Wiggle those fingers. All right, then we're going to turn sideways on our mat. Your feet are going to be a little wider than shoulder width apart, and we're going to point those toes out to the side. All right, hands, one hand is in front, one hand is behind, just like this. And all we're going to do is lean over and back. We've done this plenty of times before. All right, so let's lean over, hold, and come on up. 4 more just like that. And everyone's depth is going to be a little different. I'm feeling a slight pull in the back of my legs, but nothing painful. All right, last count, so we're going to do 1 more. Okay, now want you to relax, bend those knees, shake them out. Put your hands on your hips. Bend your knees, lean forward, and then drop one shoulder. So we're looking like this. And let's do the same thing on the other side. All right, come on back. Come on up. Now we're going to get super wide with those feet. And we're going to come down as far as feels good. If you want to take your block or your pillow or whatever that you have and put it on the ground, so that's where you're going to touch, that's fine too. Let me grab that here so you can put it in whatever position feels like the best. And then we're just going to lean on over, hands on floor or on your prop or on your fist, whatever feels like the best idea for you. And then just relax the head and neck. And then come up slightly and then just walk those hands a little bit towards one foot. And then walking towards the other foot. The legs are still straight here. We're not moving a ton, but just kind of changing the direction of that stretch. Come back to the center. I'm going to heel toe in a little bit. I'm going to bend those knees. And then I'm going to roll up nice and slow. Okay, beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of tree here. So feel free to get to a point where you can grab on for balance. And you can decide if your tree is here, or is here. So, and then you decide, are your hands kind of somewhere near that you can grab for balance? Is it in front? Is it to the side? Is it up top? Wherever you do you. So we're going to do 2 times to each side, 20 seconds each. And trying to make sure that the left side and right side match. So if you know for a fact that your left side to balance is just not working for you today, start with that left side because you can always get the right side to match. And if you don't know, it's fine. You'll find out soon enough which balance is more tricky for you today. All right, so centering yourself first, shake out any wiggles or giggles or whatever you got going on. And then pick your placement for your leg. Remember, your leg is pushing into your foot and your foot is pushing into your leg. So let's begin. And slowly release that side. Beautiful. Shake it up. Side B. You pick your position. And begin. release. Shake it out. One more time through each side, making any sort of adjustments that you need to make. All right, we ready? Lift that leg up. And begin. And release. Shake it out. Last one. Lift it up. Again in position. And go. Beautiful. All right, we have one more posture before we tone it down, and that's our upright pigeon. If you don't want to do upright pigeon, you can obviously do recline like we did earlier in class. So we're just gonna reach up, do a little bit, oh, that feels good. Come on down. Walk those fingertips down, bend those knees, come into tabletop. All right, so let's pick. I'm picking my right leg first because that just seems to be what I pick. If you want to pick your left leg first, totally cool. All right, come into downward dog. Pick that leg, bring it back behind, bring that knee in, and then pop it out to the side. So one is going to 3 o'clock and one is going to 9 o'clock. Either your knee or your foot, depending on which leg you grabbed. That's kind of what we're going for. It doesn't have to be exact. You know your body. I know I'm probably more at a 2 than a 3, but you know what, that's okay. I'm just going to be tall, nice and tall first. We're going to warm up one way. We're going to look the other way. Then we're going to come back to the center, and we're going to bring our arms and our head and our forehead down to the ground. I'm going to utilize my block. You can, if you have it there, you don't have to. And we're going to sit here and relax and breathe into that hip. Okay, let's come up nice and slow. Tuck under that back foot. Come back through tabletop. Shake it out. All right, and let's do that same thing on the other side. So come into downward dog. Bring that leg up and back. Bring that knee in and adjust. 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. We're up tall first. Let's look one way. And the other. And then when you're ready, on down. Hopefully you can get a similar setup as you could for side A. then come on up. Tuck that back foot under. Come back into tabletop. Sit back on the heels. If there's something that you really wanted to do today that we didn't do because we were focusing more on hips, this is a great chance to be able to do it. If you haven't, you're like, I'm good, whatever, Jen. Just keep following with me. But if there's something you really wanted to do, you have about 4 or 5 minutes now before we get into Shavasana that you can do it with. So if you want to do it, go do it, explore, play, have a great time. If you're like, Jen, I'm good, just tell me what to do, continue following me. Okay, so I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna scratch my ankle. I'm gonna bring both knees and grab those legs and drop that head. That back is arched just a little bit. And then come on up. Now sit in whatever way is comfortable for you. I'm just going to sit back on this block because it's handy, but whatever way you want to sit, please do so. Bring one arm out. Make a fist and pull that hip down. Remember, if you're still playing, still go ahead. If you don't want to play and you don't want to follow along with these stretches, just cool down. Just go into Shavasana. Stand there for 10 minutes. That's cool. Other side. You can spend the whole 45 minutes in Shavasana. I said this before. If you're like, hey, family, I'm going to go do yoga for a little while, and you go down to your basement or you go into a guest bedroom or go into your garage or whatever, you could take a 45-minute nap. I won't tell anybody. It's a you time. That's what your body needs. Relax. But then that's what your body needs. And sometimes, you know what? It's a nap. All right, tricep stretch. And the other side. And release. Spinal twist. And switch. I saw a parody video online yesterday of parents fighting over who gets bathroom time because bathroom time was their time, and they were like eating peanut butter sandwiches in there and catching up on TikTok videos and stuff like that just to get quiet time. So while I do not have children, I do understand the concept of I just need my space. Come back to the center, move around those wrists a couple more times. And then we're gonna lay on our back and drop those knees to one side. Hands are on the belly or in a goalpost cactus shape. stretch it out. Other side. All right, come back to the middle and set up for Shavasana if you're not there already. And we have 3 minutes today. Bonus minute. If you want to stay here longer, by all means, please do so. Otherwise, slowly wiggle your fingers and toes, and then make your way to a seated position before you very slowly open up your eyes. And we are done. Hopefully your hips feel a little bit more open. Hopefully your brain feels a little bit more relaxed. And you can have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend.